Game journalism layoffs. Everyone suffers without expert criticism. So game journos tell their marks that they need game journos. Like that's what this is. This would be like a drug dealer telling you you need them in their drugs, basically. It's pretty bad. So fans, developers, and the rest of the gaming community are harmed when hostile market forces push talented writers and editors out of the industry. No, fans and developers were harmed when the game journalists were given too much power and they started interfering with how games are made. And now that they're losing that power, they are freaking out. Now, I'm very fortunate to have a job for now that lets me regularly write about video games and enjoy healthcare. I worked hard to get here, but I'm also lucky to have this chance. It's been absolutely demoralizing to see countless other talented video game journalists lose their opportunities as wave after wave of layoffs rips through the industry, silencing veterans and denying newcomers. It doesn't have to be this way. Yeah, if only we could go back to the past and never turn against our own audience, this could have all been avoided. Am I right? Because look, no one had a problem with game journalists when the whole industry was basically ran by fans for fans. When the game journalists actually enjoyed the thing they were writing about. But it's been a long time since that's been the case. Like most game journalists now seem to be openly hostile towards the game industry, towards gamers, towards developers. It's like they're a hostile force actively trying to destroy the industry. And they wonder why no one misses them. Even if you don't think you care about game journalism, you should. Video games are art. No, this is another thing that kind of annoys me. This whole debate about are video games art or not is part of the reason why games have been so thoroughly destroyed. Like, why, if you are a serious gamer, why would you care if normies consider gaming art or not? Like, the only time that this even needs to come up is if it's like under the context of censorship. Because a lot of times, at least government censorship is stopped because it's art. That's how porn gets away with it. As much as the government would want to censor it, like, well, it counts as art and you can't censor it. Like, that's the only time that it should matter whether or not games are art. Otherwise, as an actual gamer, I don't care. What do I care if some pretentious fart sniffers consider gaming an art or not? Gaming's better than anything that they're into, so I don't care. So the video game community as a whole is so much poorer without strong media that's able to champion and critique their art. The media can't exist without support of its workers or for its workers. I'll tell you what, though, you're missing a key fact. The community is not without a strong media that's able to champion and critique the art. We're here on YouTube. The legacy industry is not needed anymore. You're not as important as you think you are. So what's happening to video game journalism? Well, everyone's walking away. You drove your audience away by being openly hostile to them. Investors and ad revenue dried up, and now you can't go back to your audience because you already drove them away. You can say this is a bit of inside baseball, but honestly, I wish it was. But the current layoff nightmare is by no means exclusive to folks who write about video games. PC Mag covers tech news, so that means we've written about thousands of people losing their jobs at Amazon, Fakebook, Microsoft, and Twitter. These massive corporations sucked up so much cash, especially during the height of the pandemic, yet have no choice but to put an unconscionable number of employees out of work as they get ahead of the recession. I kind of agree with Clownfish and a few others, where this is probably intentional. Like, these companies know that the investment money is running out. They know that the ad revenue is running out. They know that the free government Gibbs is running out. They know inflation is about to go off the hook. So they're using this as an opportunity where even if they don't need to be firing people, they're purging their bloat now while they still have the chance. But video games are what I care about and what I follow, which means paying attention to my peers in this space. It also means seeing a soul-crushing succession of news stories detailing the latest publication that suddenly decides to scale back. I mean, maybe I'll look into this guy's other work later. I wonder if you really care about video games. I bet if he's just like his game journo peers, I'm not saying he is, but if he is, probably just be seeing nothing but articles about just attacking gamers and what they like and how gaming could be better. It just gets old. So in the past few months, we've seen layoffs at Fanbyte, GameStop, Gamer Group, Giant Bomb, Vox Media, and Washington Compost, as well as other outlets. Though sometimes only a few people are let go, sometimes entire websites cease to exist. No matter the layoff scale or the amount of attention it received, at least one person lost their job and suffered the potentially life-threatening consequences that follow. Yeah, and like I said on Twitter, I am not a fan of taking the high road in this case. I will celebrate when people who've been openly attacking people like me, labeling us Nazis and racists and ismphobes and pedophiles, attacking everything we love, trying to destroy it, trying to turn the normies against us. When those people lose their jobs, that's a good thing. I'm going to celebrate because not only is my life objectively better, but they can no longer do damage to the things I love anymore. So good. I want them all gone. The legacy gaming media couldn't shut down fast enough. Now, these fatal wounds to game journalism don't just hurt the writers and editors, they hurt the gamers and they hurt readers. No, they don't. And viewers and listeners who care about games. We're rapidly losing our smartest voices. Wow, that's not a pretty high bar for game journalism. And it's killing our ability to regularly have intelligent and meaningful conversations that help games and players grow. Oh, you mean it's getting harder and harder to call gamers racists and sexists for liking good content and not wanting politics shoved into anything? Yeah. So when we build up game media, we draw more attention to small projects that deserve more love. We do this on YouTube too. We openly criticize big projects that deserve more scorn. Yeah, we're already doing this too. So you're not really selling me on your need to exist. We step back and examine a game's bigger potential role in society, and that's where it falls apart. Yeah, this is what you put the most effort into, is everything but gaming. Now, we speak to the hardcore enthusiasts as well as the curious mainstream. No, you don't. So we aren't a force-fed corporate marketing points or fanboy misinformation. Why throw that all away? Yeah, fanboy misinformation. See, this is how they referred to actual fans, calling them out. This is why they're failing right here. And they can't see it. They treat fans like this, and then they're full surprise Pikachu. Like, I don't get it. Why are we being shut down? I don't know. And again, I will also agree with Clownfish on this, like with what Neon said. Like, this whole article, it doesn't read like an attempt to convince the audience to stick with them. This reads as an attempt to convince this guy's boss to not fire him. They said, look, boss, we're vital to the industry. We're important. We're needed. We're not non-essential. You can't just fire us. So in many ways, this crisis mirrors the ongoing video game preservation crisis and a similar gross disrespect for history and the value of institutional knowledge. Oh, wow. This is just low. Trying to compare your misinformation and attacking the industry with legitimately good efforts like preserving games. Wow. So we need to honor the past to move forward to the future. So we can't just keep erasing old games. We also can't keep preventing writers from having lengthy careers covering games. No, we're not doing that. Look, we're moving forward to the future and we are honoring the past. Like I used to read a physical magazine called Gamers Republic back in the day. That was my shit. Yeah, everyone else was on like EGM or Nintendo Power. It's like, no, man, I was all for that Gamers Republic. I will honor what good magazines like that did back then as we move into the future of, well, content like YouTube. You want lengthy careers covering games? Go independent on YouTube. So we can't keep preventing them from gaining the perspective and communicating the wisdom that such a long career would provide. Now this is also a lie. Like, man, how many times have we seen people who like 20 years ago were pretty based, now they're completely out of touch? That's modern society in a nutshell right there. So there will always be people so passionate about video games they want to share those thoughts with the world, even if they have to be exploited to do so. If you're a sucker. Yeah, I mean, if you want to be exploited in the legacy industry, you can do that, or you could go to YouTube. So, but those people deserve job security. You don't deserve anything more than you can get. So they deserve a healthy and stable labor landscape that recognizes them as human beings with careers that need fostering. They're not just AI that happens to be made of meat. Now, most of you are NPCs. So, yes, you do happen to be AI that just happens to be made of meat. I'm sorry, it's true. You can deny it all you want, but it's true. And plus, you say this, like, oh, we're not just AI. It's like, yeah, we know because the AI is better. The AI actually does the job we tell it to do and doesn't try to make everything about spreading a political ideology. Yeah, it's good. You saying you're not AI is not a good thing in this case. So companies should do right by their employees or audiences or unions and should force them to. No. And you wonder why you're going to be losing your job. So the first part of this article is basically a plea to the boss, like don't fire us, we're still important. Now it's getting to the threats. Hey, if you do fire us, we're going to force you to back down. So otherwise, things will just get worse. We've seen a growing chorus of former game journalists discouraging aspiring writers from entering the field, saying things like just treat it like a hobby instead. We can't all strike gold as Twitch streamers. Yeah, and that's the same in every job. Like not every person that like say works in game development is going to be Yoko Taro. You can't all strike gold that way either. I mean, shit, streaming is no different than any other job in that respect. And same thing with your legacy journalism jobs. You can't all become successful enough to jump ship over to the quote unquote real media. Some of you will, most of you won't. I mean, game journalism in general seems to be like a gathering ground of journalism school failures that couldn't get into real media. Yeah, they were aiming for the New York Lies, but the only place that was hiring was Kotaku. So video games need video game journalism. Now, video games were much better before video game journalism became what it is now. And it's not needed. Any video game journalist needs could be handled by YouTube and Twitch. So this is a gigantic bummer because a better world is possible. A vibrant and talkative games community that flourishes free of capitalism's most crushing See, there we go. Now you're shitting on capitalism too. You see, this is why you're failing. So when you get a glimpse of it, it's beautiful. I saw the most recent New York Video Game Awards where thoughtful writers from across all publications came together to discuss and celebrate gaming's best. Wow, really? The Circle Jerk Awards show is like the best you got to offer? Okay. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, and I also hope you see my upcoming book, Video Game of the Year, where dozens of outstanding writers contribute their own arguments for the best games of all time. And that's the real point of this article, huh? To try to sell your shit. The video games are hugely popular and profitable industry. Millions of people play games and care about video game coverage, and they get it from YouTube and Twitch. Letting video game journalism slip away isn't a tremendous loss. It's nonsensical. To everyone who lost their jobs, best of luck. I'm sorry we failed you. Well, should have thought about that before you talked more about shitting on capitalism than actually good games. Maybe if you'd stop trying to artificially prop up woke shit that no one wants. Maybe if you'd stop destroying the stuff people actually want, but that's fine. You guys made your bed. Now you can lie in it. Nothing of value is lost. All the benefits you claim you bring are already brought in new media. You're not needed anymore. Just admit it. You're done. Just fade away peacefully, okay? Last thing we need is you trying to stir up another Gamergate just to save your sorry asses.